Hi y'all. It has been a hot, dry summer here in Texas. Would you like to come with me and see how our garden is doing? Let's go. It is near the end of August here in North Texas, and we have had so many days of 100-degree weather. Okay, this is our Hugo Mound. This is a kidney wood, and it looks like it's doing really well. I've been watering this every day in the heat just to keep the plants alive. One of my ones that I'm especially concerned about, there's down here a wine cup. It's a Texas native, but I just planted it last month. So I'm really trying to baby it and keep it alive to help it get established. And it's doing okay. This is our coral honeysuckle, and it has gone wild. It needs lots of pruning. The heat hasn't affected it too much because it's been here for a few years. It's established. Unlike that one, you can see our flax, and it just died. I think the heat has killed it. Another one that has not done so well in the heat, this is our cosmos. There's still some here that are beautiful and blooming, although the flowers have gotten smaller, but some have succumbed. This is our Texas mountain laurel, and it has definitely liked the water it's been getting. Next to it, you can see some milkweed blooming. One of the few things that is blooming on the bed, and it really likes the water that it's been getting. You can see there's some echinacea over here. I need to deadhead. It's doing fine. The salvia has grown great guns, and it's even got a few blooms from the water. And this kidney wood is not looking nearly as green and bushy as the other one, but it's alive, and I'm grateful for that. And over here, this wilted plant is a mist flower. I've been taking special care to water this one every day because in a month or so, it should be covered with gorgeous purple blooms and just a solid mass of color that the butterflies and bees just love. You can see our potted plants here. Some of them are doing really well. Some are just staying alive. And you'll see some of the pots are empty because they've died. It is what it is. I'm grateful for the ones that have lived. You can see one that's just full of dirt, and that's where armadillos got in there and made a mess. Our blueberries look like they're doing really well in spite of the heat. You can see they're still pretty green, and some of them are even putting out a little bit of new growth. This plant is an agastache autumn sunset. It's even got a few blooms still, but it's very drought tolerant. Okay, this is our black knight scabiosa, and as you can see, the butterflies love it. I need to do some deadheading, but we're just enjoying seeing the butterflies. They're so beautiful. And this is our Queenie lime zinnia in between here. The blueberry's getting kind of shaggy, but you can see some of the flowers are beautiful, like these, but some of them are dead. I need to deadhead. And the plant overall, it's looking like it's late summer. And here we have a cosmos. Well, actually, there's a couple of cosmos here, and they're pretty much dying. I think they're done. The heat is just doing them in, and they've been watered every day, and they still look like this. Very sad to see the garden dying. This is our Three Sisters garden. The corn looked beautiful and healthy, but unfortunately something ate off all the silk, so I couldn't tell when they were ready, and by the time that I got to them, they were already mealy. So we missed some good corn this year. It's very disappointing. I was looking forward to that. The green beans are still growing. although as you can see, something is eating them. Here's the culprit. I don't know what these are. If anyone knows what this kind of caterpillar is that's eating the beans, please leave a message in the comments. You can see the green beans have a lot of healthy green growth and they have blooms, but for some reason they're not putting out any green beans. If y'all know why that is, please leave a message in the comments. We had a pumpkin that was growing in this bed as well, and it just died. I am suspecting that a vine borer got to it while we were away on vacation, because we left and it was green and we came back and it was dead and gone. The sunflowers you can see behind me are almost done, but they did great. They were so beautiful. And now we're leaving them because the birds love them. We can come out here and on a daily basis, we see little chickadees picking the seeds out of the garden. And I love to feed the birds. I love to have the birds and bees in the garden. You can see the lemon basil here is doing great. And the peppers have gotten huge and they're quite productive. You can see the herb bed is doing pretty well for the most part. Most herbs like it hot and sun. You can see the echinacea here in the corner, the leaves poking out there. I just put that in this spring and it's doing fine. The yarrow has gotten big and beautiful. The marjoram's doing great. And look at the sage. Look at how much it's grown. It's just beautiful. The basil's doing good. It's gotten big, although it's gotten some pest damage. And this was lemon mint. It got big and it bloomed and the pollinators loved it, and now it's time for me to take it out. Unfortunately, this was my time. Something came and ate it all and the whole plant died. That's very sad. This plant that you see in the background here is our mint. And it's alive, but it's struggling. It's blooming, and you can see the native bees and pollinators flying around. They're still coming to the flowers. But it's definitely affected by the heat. This is our flower trough, and the petunias are doing fabulously. They are so beautiful. They've done better than I expected. Brazilian verbena, also still doing well. The cosmos that was in here died. The zinnias are alive, but they're not thriving and beautiful like I would expect. And we have had a few other plants in here that died. We have one lavender plant that I transplanted in the spring, and it's still alive. So I would love to see it bloom, but I'm grateful it's alive. This is our tithonia, also known as Mexican sunflower, or varieties torch. And you can see it has not done well at all. While it lasted, it was just gorgeous. The butterflies love it. This is our bean teepee, and it is languishing in the heat. We only did get a handful of beans off of it, so I'm not sure what the issue is there. Right at the corner of the bed, you can see our zinnia, and it's still hanging on. I need a deadhead there too. And next to it was our ground cherry, and it's done. This is our cucumbers on the trellis, and they're doing okay. There are two plants there, both from the same seed packet, and one of them produces cucumbers that are smooth and sweet, and the other one produces cucumbers that are prickly, and so far all of them have been bitter. I'm not sure whether to leave the plant or take it out. This plant is Tulsi, also known as holy basil. It's my first time growing it, and it seems to be doing fine in the heat. It looks beautiful. And then next to it, we have more cosmos. And you can see some of them are still looking green and healthy, and some of them look dead. So I'm not sure what makes the difference, but I'm grateful we still have some pretty flowers. This is our watermelon bed. They're a variety called Jubilee. We grew them a couple years ago, and they were delicious. We got several 20-pound watermelons, and we're hoping for the same this year. This is the variety Jubilee, and we're hoping it gets really big and beautiful and juicy and yummy. Looking forward to that. Okay, this is the bed where we were adding used soil and old compost that was partially done. And apparently it had some melon seeds in it from last year that decided to volunteer. So it's a variety of melon that's personal size. We don't care for it so much, but our chickens love it. And I figure it's just making more greens for the compost, and it's giving us a benefit for our chickens, so we've just left it. Okay, the flowers at the end are mixed results. The petunias are actually doing really well here. And then there's a lavender transplant, and it looks like it's got a blooming spike on it. I'll actually get to see what it looks like when it blooms. Looking forward to that. And then this plant is our calendula, and it does not like the heat, but it is still trying to bloom, so I'll take that. And it's alive. Okay, you can see our peppers. They got transplanted a little late, and some are getting established and doing great. And some are languishing, and it looks like there's one or two that are not gonna make it. I think I definitely need to get those in earlier next year. Behind the peppers, you can see our okra, and it has just started blooming. We've got more sunflowers here, and they're done, but the birds are still enjoying them. This is another tithonia bush, the Mexican sunflower, and it's got a little more life in it, but you can see it is still struggling with the heat. And you can also see the butterflies love it. We've got sweet potatoes growing in here, and a lot of them are vining over the trellis. Some of the leaves look really good. You can see there's some holes from pests, and some of them are languishing. I know sweet potatoes like the heat, and they've been getting plenty of water, so if any of you have any wisdom on growing sweet potatoes, we are still learning how to be successful there. Please share your wisdom with us. Next, you can see jalapenos growing. I am letting them turn red so I can make some crushed red pepper from them. And some of them have gotten some sun scorch. They're showing the heat too. And behind them, on the trellis, you can see we've got some melons growing. Those are our Galia melons. These are our Galia melons, and this one is close to being ripe. We've gotten several off them already. They're yummy. And they're taking the heat pretty well, but they're showing signs of stress as well. And then on this side, we have our tomatoes. And you can see they're not looking so good. I have not been able to keep up with pruning off all the dead leaves. And we've got some damage from tomato hornworms. And we've gotten a whopping 1 tomato this year. And the flavor was just mediocre. Yeah, we just have not had very good luck growing tomatoes at all. And this is our parsley, or what's left of it. I'm sure in the last garden tour, this was all big and green and beautiful. And the heat has definitely taken its toll. This is hyssop. I planted it as a companion plant, and it is doing really well in spite of the heat. The bees love it, and it's something that is still looking pretty in the garden in the midst of this summer heat. This year was our first time growing peanuts, and they're doing quite well. I am really happy with them. They have a little bit of pest pressure. I've caught a couple grasshoppers in here, but overall they're looking really healthy. I hope we get a nice big peanut crop from them. We moved the figs over here so they could be in the shade. When they were in the direct sun, they were just languishing, and there were a couple that had lost almost all their leaves. This is one of the trees that had lost almost all its leaves, and you can see it's put out a lot of new growth. It is much happier here where it gets partial shade during the day. And you can see that the figs are doing better. They like it here. This one you can see still only has a couple leaves, but it's putting out figs that are looking really good. Definitely happier here. And this is our fig forest. We put these in the ground early this spring, and you can tell a huge difference between how these trees are doing and how the ones in pots are doing. We've only been watering these once a week during this heat, and the ones in the pots we water every day. But look at how many more leaves are on these and how much greener they are. They definitely much prefer having their roots in the ground. We have plans to expand our fig forest so that we can put more of those trees in the ground. We are using solarization to prepare the ground for them and get rid of the weeds. Be sure to watch our channel if you want to learn more about solarization and how we're doing this. As you can see, the ring of fire weather anomaly has caused a lot of heat and stress to the garden, and the lack of rain has not helped, and it's also caused stress to us. Makes it hard to be out in the heat and get anything done. But you know, it is what it is. Sometimes gardening is hard. Thank you for joining me today and seeing how our garden is surviving in the heat.